Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you like what you see, leave a comment. If you don't like what you see, leave a comment. Wow, it's so cold it hurts. Oh boy. Yeah. Whew. It's so cold it hurts. Oh, how you doing, Mr. Burger? Oh, I'm freezing. Oh, that's painful.
They scan these, and then they give them a band.
Because the question though, is there any prohibition on that? I have to research that. I'm sure if the borough got the property, if there's any restrictions on that. Sometimes
We were at school before we were at the building.
so I'd have to see if there's anything there. Something that happens.
Well, it wouldn't be,
It'd be the
field
property.
actually is owned by the school district.
So
So
where,
that's the other,
so where's the alcohol being sold? Is it school district property?
it might depend on the deed restrictions.
Yes.
It might depend on, that might depend on the deed restrictions. Yeah.
Or is either this property here, this building?
Or the field, which is a field done by the school district, yeah.
How you doing,
So
Sam?
this would be, so this would be those would be the questions. And shutting down the streets, which I guess has to do with what was the resolution that we had to, like how we do the frames and stuff. Yeah, resolution for the shutting down the streets and everything. Because he's talking about shutting the streets down in the border.
I have daughters.
Tuesday,
They moved to St. Louis.
we're in a meeting right now, so if you go pay attention to me, because we're gonna vote on this. Okay. So we're talking about shutting down all of the Thoburn and perhaps the short leg of Diamond, maybe not. Tuesday through Saturday, this is for the year 2027. 2027, from 4 to 11 o'clock, or 4 to 10, or 4 to 11 o'clock every night. And there'll be a band there from 4 to 10, or Friday and Saturday. But the question would be, can they sell alcohol during that time also? The shutting down of the streets, which we'll have to pass a resolution for, and selling of alcohol, which could either be sold out of here or a tent on the field, depending on the deed restrictions.
That I don't have the answer.
Did we cover it all? Okay. Okay. Everybody else brought up to speed, because we're voting on this, a decision to request for approval to host the annual Firemen's Convention during the, well, this says 2025.
Yeah, we'll have to make a
It's
edit to the agenda.
2027.
Yeah, it's not this year.
Okay.
We need to find out a couple more.
Yeah, so when it comes up on the agenda, we'll probably table it, and then, but you said they haven't voted on it yet, so if we vote on this next meeting, it'll be early enough for you?
Yeah, should be. Yeah, because there's still plenty of time to take it for them and.
Those would be the only questions, I think, which would be the alcohol and the shutting down of the streets.
What if people who live on those streets?
Right.
So is it gonna be?
That was what I had asked them, can they get through the park?
Completely blocked, or is it just, we want people?
It's most likely gonna be completely locked.
Because,
So they have to access the
Yeah.
alleyway.
because like Hattonese is about 40 people that park in the lot,
Yeah.
and they won't be leaving until like 5 o'clock at night. And then we probably have another 20 or 30 people that park, well, there's 18 carports plus, so there's, and then, yeah.
Probably should have given us.
So, send out notices saying the street will be closed down during this period of time. So it'll be in or get out before then.
Why, I mean, why is it, I mean, if it's for work, why is it 4 o'clock? Can we move it just that time on during the weekday?
Well, you just need it from Tuesday through Saturday.
That's good. Yeah, I'm saying, but it's a can't usually go open till 5.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it 4 o'clock as opposed to 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7? Why is it 4 o'clock?
I figured that's probably about the time it would take us to start setting up for the events that we'd have that day.
And you have a bunch of fire trucks pulling in. If you're down here in this, on State Street, I know the fire trucks there. So it'll be like a parade night
Pretty much,
for,
from Tuesday
Oh,
to Saturday,
where the fire trucks are lining up State Street.
yeah. Not so much they'll bring the fire trucks, it'll be more like people, and, you know, what else? They'll have scaffolding set up, because that's where they do the bucket brigade, they'll have a tank of water in the middle of the street.
Okay.
You're talking about like Fireman's Bonnaroo, Fireman's like Coachella, down here, like right here in, it's not the meeting, you're not in the meeting right now, actual meeting.
We're in a 3:30 meeting.
Oh, okay.
So I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know what time it is. Yeah.
I didn't mean to interject. I thought you were setting up for the
Yeah,
meeting.
no,
I'm
there's a
sorry.
3:30 meeting scheduled for the firemen to be here, so.
Cool.
Okay, so that's about it then. All right, so then what we're gonna do when it comes to that approval is we will postpone that. till next.
Or it's open to the public.
And then
I'll
in the
come down.
meantime, maybe you'll find out whether,
Right?
I gotta go next week, so I'm going, I'm worried about that.
okay,
Fun.
all right, you have everything.
A little bit of fun, you know? I mean, this is a pretty stodgy
Sounds good.
kind of borough, really. I mean, we're not known for anything fun or good times.
And let's hope it doesn't rain and pour. There's still ruts over
I'm
there.
trying to be the guy that runs the rain, Stony Creek trails, okay? He's trying to bring some fun shit in, you know? So,
It's getting, the draining is getting really bad over on that Wonder Street side. You know, I mean, right now, it's like a lake over there.
And then the other thing is, I was talking with the school, I met them down there this summer. Yeah, that was great.
Pretty busy at the building. I see you guys walking down.
Yeah.
They are favorites.
Yeah, I guess they're still planning on going through with some of they had some plans,
Siren.
maybe put a track in and a pavilion and some other things, so.
Because that's what I told them. They said, well, I'd rather see the fire department put the lead on it.
That's the other thing is with this alcohol sale. Like I said, we don't own the field, so we'll have to check into. Yeah. Other than our zoning.
hey Amanda, did they pick up garbage yesterday?
They said they could, you said you could sell out of the building. Give them bands or.
It's out there waiting for them.
Sell it off, they could.
What's
From
that?
the fire station.
What do you mean, you guys pick it up
Fire
too?
station.
No, it's right on top of it. It's right on top of the snow. It wasn't you guys.
Just in the next one.
No. In fact, it got blown. You know what I mean? It's no, you guys didn't, no. I don't know what time you guys are up in the morning, but I put the garbage out usually about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning, to make sure it's out. Where am I on the schedule? You guys really are. I don't know. Dude, you got it. Must be. Our first half of our council member living on their street. Okay. I mean, that's a reality. I'm not recording, you know, I just put it on live. I mean, that's the, and I'll say it because I mean, I've lived here long enough to know that it was never that way before. So it's a welcome addition, you know.
I know the Borough does a big thing over there. go with this
Yeah.
thing that Lorraine
Good.
Brown knows. Is it just a fireman's
Thanks.
picnic or something? Yeah, something like that.
I know. I mean, no, it was terrible, you know, and I used to not care, because I've always had a four-wheel drive, you know what I mean? I used to feel bad for the neighbors, you know, like, I used to be like, come over here, pop over the last people over here, pop.
Yeah, but just
Why four-wheel drive?
before
You know, this is my answer for everything, but now, you know, like,
the.
but no, you've done a really good job this year, especially, you've been fucking on top of it. But correct me if I'm wrong, if you stay on top of it, it just stays easier the whole.
Well, he was able to make a deal with the person.
Good, yeah, I mean, you know, how many guys you have plowing?
Yeah.
That's probably just enough to do it, to do what you guys have to do, the way you're doing it. Like,
Yep, we got new talk, we
Get
got
two
new
more,
talk.
get two more guys. You don't have trucks.
What is your name?
Right.
Andy. Okay, you're with yours still?
Yes.
And which department do you have?
The architecture department.
Right. What's wrong with the salt spreader? It doesn't have it. You said two trucks don't, two trucks throw salt, one doesn't. Is the salt spreader broken? Why? Affordable job. Well, I mean, that's good though. If you know, if you have three trucks, you have three guys plowing, that's, 100% utilization.
Call the meeting to order, pledge the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Anthony Piper.
Here.
Doug Barry is not here. Richard Burkert.
Here.
Herb Ewald.
Here.
Eugene Capchella.
Here.
Matthew Vicker.
Here.
Bob Morgan.
Here.
Jerry Spiker.
Here. Public comment, if anyone has a public comment, please state your name clearly and where you reside.
Mark Lazaron. I live at 104 Milton Street, Borough resident. I just came to introduce myself. Since October, I am the new executive director of the Cambria County Planning Commission. So I just wanted to take this opportunity as a borough resident to come to a meeting and introduce myself and if it's acceptable, pass out my contact and business cards if you wouldn't mind. Because I know most folks here for different reasons, but I just, like I said, I just wanted to introduce myself. I know later on the agenda, there's the approval of the active transportation plan. And as many of you know, prior to being on the planning commission, I was the planning director for the Eats group. We helped put together that plan. And as I transitioned to the planning commission, through my involvement, kind of helped broker the completion of that plan. So here to introduce myself and to say, I've spoken to Amanda, that the planning commission is there to be a vehicle for technical assistance and support. So as a borough resident and as the planning commission director, I'm here to say, we're available, our ears are open for Southmont. Anytime you want to call and talk to us, talk to me about an issue, a planning related matter, or anything along those lines, anything we can do to help implement the plans or implement what you're doing, we are here and available, and I'm ready and willing to help you any way that I can. So that's all I wanted to do. So.
Residents too? Can we reach out to you?
I will not take it.
Okay, thanks. No, I was just wondering. I don't really know what you do, but I would. Okay.
We're here to serve the county.
Thanks. Okay, good.
Okay. So public comment, no one else?
Yeah, I wanted to say something.
Okay.
Okay. My name, John Klanch, 104 Dahlia Street. Hi, everybody. Just wanted to thank everybody for listening to my dad's issue and I guess helping him out. But I wanted to thank you. He's very appreciative, and so am I. And
I wanted to bring something up to you guys about something, and this is something that's kind of fundamental maybe on your all's part as elected officials, as government officials. This will only take a second, and this is kind of like where I'm coming from, okay? And I've only really ever spoken with the mayor about this one time, okay? And what I wanted to speak to everybody about today, and I apologize if I'm rambling, and I'll get there. Once I catch, I'll get there, okay? Because this is something that I want you guys to actually reflect on, and I'm not really picking, but I would like you guys to reflect on this. It's good food for thought, okay? I ran for Southmont Borough Council 2 years ago, and I did that for several reasons, okay? And one of those reasons was, and the question I have for everybody today that is really not answerable, you know, in this kind of situation, but when you guys all decided to go up to the courthouse and get the paperwork and your petitions to run for office, well, you were appointed, but still you're gonna have to do that this year, right? I don't know if you've done that or not, but okay, but I mean, are you up this year? Okay. Yeah, so that you're going to be doing that process here soon. It's fun, you know, it's kind of cool. But what I want to know is this, okay? Did you guys sign up for a culture where if neighbors don't like each other and they want to squabble, that they come to you guys and you guys act as like the school principal, and then you guys then weaponize either the zoning office or collection. And anything you guys have in your governmental power. And I really want to know if that's what you guys signed up to do, okay? If that's what your premise was, or if that's what you thought maybe was a good thing to do, or maybe that's what you thought how you could help your neighbors by being that person. That you guys could all sit up here and then go, you know, well, so and so doesn't like what so and so's doing, so they can go down to the borough council and they can complain, or they can bring things to the councils, and then they can in turn, you know, say get the zoning officer to come after somebody, or they can get, you know, any number of other things to get them in front of a judge, and then a judge can actually, you know, if they want to, put the person in jail or cost them a bunch of money, which doesn't really end up serving the people of the community very well. So I'm asking everybody as a favor, and maybe I'm on a roll and I'm asking for favors, maybe I'm asking for one too many, but I'm asking everybody to kind of like think with your hearts a little bit more, okay? Maybe think about what, you know, if people in the community come to you and they're complaining about what the, you know, and you got, you know, and particularly like, you know, zoning, property maintenance, and these things, you know, maybe it's not such a great idea to weaponize what you guys can do to get somebody to comply. Because I really, like I said, when I ran, I was going to try to point that out and try to stop all of that, because I feel that this community, there's a culture of that people, if they don't like somebody, if they don't like their neighbor, they don't like what they're doing, they can come down here and then man, they without throwing too many accusations out here, but my family, my sister, I've been bullied by the council, and I've learned that I have to tone down my approach a little bit, and I have to be a little bit more personable about the way I approach everybody. But I just don't think that's right. You know, that I think you guys are here to like take care of the stuff on the agenda. You know, like make sure there's enough salt, make sure Sam can do his job. Okay, make sure there's enough money for everything to happen. You know, I think that's what you guys signed up to do, not be involved and be referees and ultimately judges without using a judge. So, you know, I just want everybody to think about that. And if anybody wants to tell me either you know, here or anytime, you know, why exactly you guys chose to run, or if that was what you guys thought to do, you know, why you thought that was, you know, but it's just not it. I just think that needs to stop, and I would appreciate it if it did. And I know there are people in the borough that would appreciate that too. So thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Sherry.
There's been no correspondence received.
No.
Minutes, let's see, one change, I think. On, under public comment, where it said Mr. Forsey stated he reached out to RDM. He was looking for, I think, grants, or, I think that was supposed to be JRA. Unless he stated it wrong, but RDM doesn't
Okay.
help financially, but JRA does, so I'm
Okay.
not sure if he stated it wrong or we wrote it down wrong, so that was the only thing I had. So I need a motion for the minutes.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor,
Aye.
opposed, motion carries. West Hills Regional Police.
Police department had 359 calls for service last month. 57 of those were in Southmont. 4 traffic citations issued along with 4 warnings, and no major incidents to report. But I do have to request the idea also Westmont's on board with that. It's the possibility of getting the upper part of Luzerne near Monaco posted. Maybe so far for no parking, we're having congestion issues there, mostly because of the weather and the snow pile up. But there's the first maybe 200-300 feet, there's cars parked along there, and there's cars waiting in line for red light. It's almost impassable sometimes. So
You're talking on the opposite side of the street
Yes,
as the
Westmont.
police station
yes, opposite side of the street, at the very, very end.
on the triangle.
Yes.
So you're looking for us to post that as no
At
parking?
least a certain distance down, doesn't need to be the whole way, but Westmont was gonna post it, and it was realized that's actually Southmont Borough there. It's just cars at the very, very end, if they park there, you can't get 2 lanes of travel through, and traffic gets backed up through the intersection.
We're gonna have to check
It's
into
actually
that.
becoming a safety issue.
Okay, I know anytime we start talking about new parking,
Yeah,
taking people's
yeah, I'm
parking
aware.
away, it's a pretty big deal.
Those houses there do have driveways, they raise money.
First 30 feet.
All right, so Amanda,
Is it just when it's snow, is it a snow issue?
That's some of the issue right now, is the road kind of narrow because of snow, so that's most of it's light right now, the snow's kind of making the road a little narrower, so it's very, very tight for cars to get through.
is it worse around where they're coming in from Monaco?
Monaco,
Or right at the station?
no, right at Monaco, right there at the intersection.
So that would cross from Hoagland's and Munster's and that section right there. Okay, Amanda will look into that and see what we.
I have a question, Chief. We've had some problems with people speeding on our side streets. Maybe you're aware of it, maybe not. What do you plan to do there?
We have some reports of some of the side streets. Some of the side streets, most of our targeting enforcement's on some of the busier roads. We can sit on the side of the street for half an hour and see 1 or 2 cars. So often they get overlooked, but if we get reports of it's a certain street all the time, we can make sure those streets are targeted, as long as we have a place to sit, as long as we have a speed zone set up for it too.
I think we all received an email, and I don't know whether you were notified or not, but we need to do something about that.
Do you have a particular street?
Street weatherman.
Cobb Street.
So that's, we're aware of that. We've actually had a few cars stopped there.
Now as it is, and then you can't come along there. They said they think they were going to 35, 40 mile an hour. It's not suited for 25 right now.
Okay, anything else then? And the fire company was here at the 3:30 meeting, and we had a good discussion. There is an action on the agenda that we are going to, I need a motion to table that till next, okay, I need a motion to, table the decision to approve to host the annual firemen's convention and that's not 2025, that's 2027.
I I'll make that motion.
Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So we'll have that on, next month's agenda. Engineers report?
I spoke with Todd Banks, I'm setting it for him tonight, I'm Andy Cordish, I'm with Steve Rob, the architect. He did not have anything to report tonight, but I'd be willing to give an update on the renovations roofing project if you'd like.
Yeah, that would be good. And there is in the packet, I believe, a diagram, what we were looking at. It's there somewhere. Okay, so go ahead.
So I'm sure everyone is aware, there was an LSA grant that was awarded to Southmont Borough, and we are going to re-roof this building, minus the fire department portion. And we're going to tear down the existing wood deck. I understand that there's definitely some issues on the lower deck above the garage. We're gonna have that in the documents to get that replaced as well. The second portion of that project is some miscellaneous interior renovations, which is basically this floor, outside the fire department. Mostly, well, the 2 toilet rooms are gonna be moved across the hall. They will be ADA compliant, they'll be large enough. And then the 2 existing rooms, the toilet rooms, will be storage areas. And then we're gonna divide the area back where the existing offices are into 3 areas, storage room, 2 offices. There'll be a transaction window there. There's some security upgrades gonna happen, and then mostly just new finishes throughout. So carpeting, paint, new ceilings.
So people won't be walking into the offices anymore, they'll be coming to a window?
Yes. Yes. And I was also proposing new finishes in the corridor as well, so. That's what's going on. I do have a set of drawings here, if, I can leave them here if anyone wants to look at them, I believe.
Is that a build-up roof? I mean, is that?
No, it's a single ply membrane, it'll be rubber.
Rubber?
Mhm. I was gonna propose black instead of, some people go with white.
Rolled up the side?
It'll go up like 6 or 8 inches, it'll flash into the walls.
Is that flat or is it sloped?
The highest roof is actually sloped wood, so there won't be any tapered insulation, but the garage roof will have tapered insulation on it. They're both flat.
Any questions for the engineer?
Well, I have one question.
Yeah.
Was anything ever mentioned to you about the front steps? They take water in like Niagara Falls?
No, what do you mean? It gets water doesn't
Every
drain?
time it rains, it runs out in there.
Okay.
And you can't keep that room dry or clean.
Oh, downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you look up and see the actually formed steps and
I think I may have been in there one time. You walk the whole, you go down these steps and walk the whole way through, and it gets kind of lower ceiling. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'd be worth looking into anyway.
Okay.
You proposing lowering this?
Because something has to be done to
Just like a
stop
water
the water.
Was that, I'm sorry.
Something should be done to stop the water. I don't
Okay.
know whether you could work something up for that.
That'll be some kind of coating on the outside surface of the concrete?
I think there's actual gaps, the
I think
spaces,
it's the steps are
where the
not,
steps are.
the steps are not, to the foundation. I think the water runs down in there.
Okay, well, we can definitely look at it, but I don't know if it would be covered under the LSA grant because it wasn't part of the write-up. Well, I'll look at it for you, and maybe we come up with a solution, and then we can determine how much it would cost.
That'd be great.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're very welcome.
Okay, nothing else on zoning then? Solicitor, oh, I'm sorry, okay, engineer's report. And so zoning, you have your, so you're okay?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
Zoning, you have your report from Laurel. Amanda, do you have anything to add to this?
I don't.
Any questions for Amanda on?
I still see that some of these way too old. I know Eric's been working on it. The list's getting smaller, but they're just taking off everything. It's out of their hands now, they're not gonna do anything about
Yeah, I think some of the issues on some of these, though, my understanding are weeds growing or grass that's not cut, so there might not be issues that are observable this time of the year. It might just have to wait until we get to the spring, summertime and see if they continue to be issues. I can comment, I did speak to the solicitor for Laurel Municipal Inspection Agency about the response we had received at the previous meeting. I told them that I didn't necessarily agree with their conclusion that they can't pursue violations that are for properties that are owned by corporations or LLCs. So maybe we disagreed on that issue. And those cases are all off that report from last report. So that would be Dollar World, which was one property, and then there were two with Elite Homes and More, which had two separate cases. I'm able to identify at least an individual with Dollar World, but for this Elite Homes and More, that's been a little more problematic in terms of identifying who's associated with that company. It's not a company, it's not registered at the Pennsylvania Corporation Bureau website. The property was purchased at a tax sale, and there's really no names associated with it other than this Elite Homes and More. I know where the tax notices go to, so we have the property owner, so I can make an assumption that they are the people, but I don't know if that's really a true statement. So
Let me ask you a question. All those deeds are recorded in Evansville, correct? Why can we hold those people on that deed? Why can't they be held liable?
Well, if it's purchased by a corporation or LLC, that's the owner of the property. So then you have to identify an agent, the owner, the president, somebody, a human being associated with those entities. A lot of times you can figure it out either when you acquire property, the corporation acquires it, but the corporation is not signing the deed, they're receiving it. So the signature on that deed is from the grantor. So the person who's selling the property is named as signature, but you don't see the name of the grantee who receives the property. You can check with the Corporation Bureau, see if that name is registered. If it is, then you could identify who at least the person who incorporated it, so you can get an idea there. The tax assessment records will give you an address where the tax assessment where the tax bills are going to, but if it's an incorporation, it still might just be a corporation. So sometimes you just got to do a little digging to figure out who the actual human beings are, the owner or a president or other official for that corporation.
It's not fair to the other residents of the borough because they're held liable for what's going on.
So
The corporation, just because they're a corporation, they're exempted. That doesn't sound good to me.
well, the borough does have, this is Laurel Inspection Agency bringing a complaint or filing a citation at the magistrate's level. The borough always has the option of filing at the court of common pleas level, and you can name a corporation, and then it's just a matter of serving it. So you can enforce it that way. If you can't locate a specific person to deal with it at the magistrate, you can file at the court of common pleas and deal with it that way. If
I
there
think what we should
violations are
we should
significant.
investigate that avenue because some of these are entirely too long. And it's been going on for, 3 years now.
And I can review with Amanda specifically what are at least for Dollar World and Elite Homes and More, what are the specific issues if they're significant enough. If the weeds, the grass hasn't been cut, well, that's one thing, but if it's a more significant issue, you can determine if it's worthwhile to go to the court of common pleas.
Amanda, can we get, since they dropped off Laurel's report, can you attach them to this report? The one that Laurel, like Dollar World. So this report's gotten smaller, they've dropped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the blighted properties or properties with issues that have been dropped off of the list just because Laurel's not handling them. So we can keep track of them. And Dollar World's getting worse and worse on that. All right, so solicitors report.
Last time I discussed having it in the zoning appeal, there's no update on that matter. Waiting for Judge Canary to issue a subsequent order from the previous year we had, the beginning of January. Last meeting, we had a public comment from Mr. Forche on his property. I've talked to the redevelopment authority. They had sent a contractor that they work with to do an inspection of the property to determine if there's another way to address this water infiltration problem. They had a suggestion or two. I reviewed it with Todd. He thought that might be a possible resolution. So I proposed on behalf of the borough send a letter to Mr. Forche with a potential remedy to deal with the water infiltration problem. Then, if he does that specific work, then we can do a wet weather inspection to determine if there's a compliance issue. This might be a route to alleviate the problem. We just don't know until to put this extra provision. That would be all of my report.
Okay, Sam, street commissioners report.
On my report, we have a brush pickup. There are a couple files we have not gotten to, such as right there on Gardner. We will collect them before the end of this week. And with the exception of that, I have nothing else.
I have a question. Do you have anything in mind about Diamond Knoll? That water comes down. I mean, I know the catch basin is useless. It would seem to me, and I'm not an engineer, down the street on Diamond.
Right across, yeah.
Right across all the street and down there, and there's a catch basin there you can probably tap it into. And you saw it, it's all covered with ice a few days ago, and all that water comes down the hill. Springs or some pumps or something.
I would say there is one, there's the one inlet that's slightly up where the water is shooting out right around it.
Okay.
We're going to build that up a little bit, try to make sure it catches all the water. I did buy my own personal little jetter to actually clean out some of the lines so water can be pushed down through nice and easy and actually get the inlets up to par.
Has anything ever thought about what you're gonna do at the end of Floyd Street? That was an ice jam, it was 3-4 inches thick of ice. We have to do something to divert that water into the storage. It can't run on the road like it's been doing. We're gonna have an accident there, somebody's gonna get hurt, and then we're gonna be swinging. Has any thought been given to what to do there?
We had initially discussed putting a concrete lip right at the edge of their driveway because the water's actually coming out of the corner of their driveway.
Those are all different springs also. And you're also having water come down, there's a spring that pops out of the ground right in the middle of Valkyrie Lane, right before that intersection. That's all woods, right, until 50 years ago, 60, 90, 100.
I think we should make note of all these problem areas, and then when the weather gets right, we should address them all. Because you can't keep putting up with that every year, and you have to take the backhoe up there and dump truck and try to get it off of there. It's gonna be dangerous. It's dangerous.
Sam, you have down on your upcoming items, fixed winter damage, 92th over, what was that?
The plow caught some of the yard and took a little chunk out.
Anybody else?
Mandy, could you put those on the tickler list so we know what's going on?
Okay, anything else for Sam? Thank you, Sam, you guys have been doing yeoman's job lately. Hard to keep up with. Borough managers report, Amanda.
Unless you have questions, I don't have anything else.
Anybody have any questions on her Amanda's report? Did we Did you hear from the insurance company on?
Yes, yes, so we're gonna be setting up a fire escrow account for that.
Mayor's report.
The only thing I have is Jim File. He contacted me again. I think it was the September meeting and stuff, but he explained about their speeding issue up on Cox and Shady. I think you mentioned about that earlier and stuff, but he again contacted me on social media. You know, there's a video he took, and he asked me to forward it off to council, which I did to everybody to view. I can't, looking at the video, make out a speed or whatever, but he was saying it was late at night and they were over 50 miles an hour, and it's still a persistent problem. So to help him out, I don't know, anything I can think of is that portable speed sign that we have. I don't know if maybe you can get that up there, collect some data, maybe we can see if then there's a certain time, or if we do need more of a police presence up there to help them out.
Are we using that during the winter time or?
Not quite yet. They sent us the mounting brackets didn't fit, so we're trying to figure out something else to get in there.
I know they go up and down State Street 50 miles an hour at night, after 2, 3 in the morning. All right, committees, administrative or borough services, anything on that, Amanda, Doug's not in?
No, nothing new.
Richard, community planning and improvement.
There are really two items. One is adoption of the active transportation plan. This was pursued, over the last probably 9 months now. The committee has provided a draft version of this and the final version for comments to members of council. Doug Berry provided really what I think it is just a typo, but there are a number of actionable ideas, projects that will serve for future action, for grant applications. And we do have Mark Lazari here, who, as he explained earlier, was a planner, principal planner, who worked on this active transportation plan. So if there's any other questions or concerns, we should hear them now, and then I'll move to adopt it.
So my question is, are we just accepting the report, or are we approving everything in the report?
Again, it's I think it's probably, one fabric. There's some recommendations in there that, again, the council will have the opportunity to move or not act on recommendations in the plan, although we got no comment one way or another. Again, there were public involvement in this, but there was no, as far as the best of my knowledge, and I missed last month when this should have occurred, but I didn't see a reference to it in the minutes either. So, we wanted to give council a final opportunity to make any comments about the plan, and if there is not substantive issues, I would move that we go ahead and approve it, adopt it, rather.
My only question is, I guess, into the solicitor, because there's things, so if we adopt it, if we approve it, are we bound to all of these?
My review of that, they were just recommendations for
Recommendations,
the borough.
that's my
They're not
question.
affirmative, you must do one thing, there's 9 different recommendations in there, but
So that's
that
just,
would,
that's what I want to be clear on, because there's things like changing, the street lights and coming up with an assistance program for sidewalks just wanna make sure we're not doing one fell swoop to approve the whole
Right,
thing.
I would say it's not approval of the recommendations, it's approving the submission of that transportation plan, then for council to review that and determine which recommendations is gonna, that would require additional action to be taken by the borough, not just.
We are doing planning right now, and the idea is to put the idea in a plan, and you show the state plan, state approves this as well, then you move forward with their approval for seeking funding to actually do the work. So there'll be multiple opportunities to review and prioritize and pass, I mean, there'll be opportunities for visit all of this before anything happens.
So there,
If we decide at a later date to opt out of the whole thing, we're not bound by our signature, correct?
No, it's again, it's just recommendations for the borough to consider.
It's not binding that we have to do those things.
No,
It's not a contract.
it's not a contract, it's not an agreement with any other entity, it's a submission that these are recommendations for the council to consider, be accepted in that sense, and then determine what of those recommendations are feasible. All 9 of those recommendations maybe aren't feasible, or some would require
in the budget.
funds to do.
Yeah.
You can't just approve all 9 of them, not necessarily funding, and some would, probably all those not all of them, but majority of those recommendations require further action from council to implement.
Obviously, we need to act on the adoption of this, but there's another planning effort we're going into shortly that I need to report on too.
Is the Eads group doing all this?
Well, there is a planning committee. Doug Berry was more involved than anyone on that committee in the active transportation plan.
What I'm saying is, we had Eads for early on, when we started the sewer bill. And they just kept telling us what we had to do. We said, no, you come with a proposal of what we can do, and then we'll make the decision. Well, ultimately, we got rid of Eads because of that very thing. I hope it's not the same thing.
Well, that's a compliance issue. The sewage, that was a mandate. That was a mandate with the sewer plan.
Just so we're not, bogged into something we're not gonna utilize down the road.
So is there any motion on the table for this?
I'll make the motion.
Well, but I need to know what the motion's for.
Okay, I guess, what would I say now?
Just the motion to accept the plan.
Motion to accept the
The
plan
concept of the plan, the concept of the plan.
Yeah. With no strings
Not funny.
It becomes part of our vision for the future.
So I need a second.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, I'd also like to quickly report on the comprehensive plan. I think you're all informed. Again, what we did, we had the opportunity to create a plan for Southmont. We had the county planning agency in like a year ago, and they said that you can apply for, anybody can apply, but if it wasn't a multi-municipal plan, there was about 0 chance of the DCED actually funding it. And the County Planning Commission did the outreach, and it got 5 municipalities, and I think you know who they are, the Upper Yoder, Lower Yoder, Brownstown, Southmont, Westmont boroughs, to seek funding to do a comprehensive, regional comprehensive plan with focus on each of the municipalities, but then also the capacity to do look at regional issues. We sought funding through the DCED And we also needed some concept of the amount of funding we're seeking. So we did an request for proposals and got 4 proposals for different companies or teams. We accepted the low bid proposal from the only local firm, which was Eads. And the planner, once again, was Mark Lazari, who, as you've heard, has moved over to the County Planning Commission, and that his position has not been filled by Eads at this point. And we are a group of municipalities, hilltop municipalities, met last week, and we were in consensus that we don't believe that Eads has the capacity to do this work, although we'll check, but that what we're going to do is go forward and reissue the request for proposals. We are in, I think, a very favorable position to do a more comprehensive, more in-depth comprehensive plan, because the County Planning Commission will contribute without compensation, contribute to the planning and public outreach portions of this, which otherwise we would have to, again, pay a firm. And so this may add a month or 2 to the start date, but we had a representative of DCD, a regional representative, in attendance at our meeting, who encouraged us to treat this way, to choose this solution. And so the County Planning Commission will be putting out requests for proposals for a new team to supplement the County Planning Commission, and with special focus on different topics, so we can look at economic development or recreation or whatever that are deemed priority issues in the plan. And so that we will not be actually getting into plan for several months, but we'll have ample time to do it. I have to say this is kind of exciting. I mean, I think we're going to come out with a better plan, and I think everybody on that team is, I think we all need to plan so we can move forward and more deliberately, and have, lay the groundwork for some grant-funded programs in the future. Any questions or discussion?
Are the meetings open to anybody that wants to attend?
Yeah.
And where do you normally meet at?
We met on notice. So far we've met as needed. We convened on invitation of the County Planning Commission. And this was just. This is the same group that created the last RFP, accepted that. So we wanted to get past this initial phase. There's going to be a lot of community input, not just council members, but also the public going on as part of this. So there'll be ample notice for everyone. We want everyone's input on this. I mean, that's a plan. I mean, it's your idea of Southmont and the West Hills of the future. Actionable ideas to make this a better place to live.
And how do they advertise the meeting?
There won't be advertised, as far as I know, but they'll be advertised, not legal notice, as far as I know. This is a committee, joint committee. It's not. I don't think we fall under the Sunshine Act. I think this is the study committee under the auspices of the County Planning Commission.
I think it'd be a good idea to notify at least the council people.
I think it's a great idea. Amanda will be part of this, and we'll coordinate to go through it.
There's a lot of unanswered questions at least.
The whole thing's unanswered.
We want to get the best.
We haven't started the plan yet. We're trying to get it started.
Yeah, we got to protect our tax money.
Okay, anything else then, Richard?
No, I just wanted to bring you up to date on the comprehensive plan.
Thank you.
Okay.
Emergency management.
Nothing included.
Did I see something in the packet where something was being included?
Oh, the emergency management plan, we just need to update the radio frequencies that are listed, because of the new radios they have, so, nothing crazy.
All right, nothing on finance. Gene, water authority.
I think the only thing to report there is that we're moving forward on the North Fork renovations and nothing else.
Okay. MS4, there's nothing at this time. And personnel, Doug's not here. Anything from personnel, Amanda? Police, Bob.
No report, chief service.
And property maintenance.
Yeah, not a whole lot. Sam, I just had one question, and you guys are doing a great job plowing, but I was just wondering, at the top of Susan Drive, and I understand how it is trying to plow, but you get that triangle patch.
Right in the center.
And I've seen people, spin out, especially if you're coming down Diamond and you go to pull in, or you're pulling to go down Susan Drive, that can get a little sketchy at times. I didn't know if we could,
We can get that a little tighter. The initial reason the triangle was there is because we were clearing it in the middle of the storm.
Right.
Now it's very solid. The sun's gotta come out someday. It's been a long winter. We appreciate all the long hours. Do we have enough manpower?
I would love to take more, so we had less that we had to continue to run. I was a couple more guys, but that's neither here nor there, because last year's winter was barely anything. This
Yeah.
year is.
And what about the salt? Is that holding?
The salt's doing okay. We're all right for initial start of another one. Just not another one of these 1 to 2 inches. That's 6 inches later.
4 months long snowstorm?
Yeah.
I don't like what you're
Even nice
saying.
is worse.
Okay. So can we order or?
Yep.
Or,
Yeah, we
because we have
have it
supply
ordered.
from last year.
Yeah, we just ordered some today.
Yep.
And nothing else then, on streets, sidewalks? Are we working on the sidewalk ordinance?
Yeah, so I think we're gonna be having a meeting March 11th to kind of finalize some of the comments on that. And then that way, hopefully it'll be ready for approval at the March meeting, or at least approval to advertise.
And shade tree, Richard?
Shade tree, there's been some positive activity. At last meeting, you approved submission of a request for $7,500 grant from the Community Foundation for the Alleghenies. And if they provide that to the borough, it'll be contingent upon our receipt of a DCNR grant to do a shade tree inventory and plan. Again, we're in a position where we have 100-year-old Norway maples that are, we're just reacting as limbs and trees fall on, houses and cars, and, we're spending our budget not proactively but reactively. So again, we would work with a landscape architect and Bartlett's tree experts to create an inventory and a plan over a multi-year period. The application is due early, like April 2nd, so we'll be asking next month for approval of the DCNR application. At this point, the minimum grant is $50,000, so that's the amount of our request. It requires a 20% match, which is the reason we sought the cash from the Community Foundation. The rest would be provided in the form of in-kind services. We're talking about reactivating the Shade Tree Advisory Committee. which is established, by Borough Code, but has not been active for more than 15 years probably. And again, training them and using them as as we did previously.
Okay. Thank you for that. All right, so, all new business. We have, few resolutions. Approval, a new motion to approve the resolution 2025-01, disposition of records. We do this every year, right?
So moved.
Need a second? I need a second.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So we need to approve and update the delinquent sewer maintenance policy, which was included in your packet. The only question I had on this one was whether or not we should make, under General Rule 3, that direction a little clearer for the manager. Says Borough Secretary may take any or all of the following actions with no action having priority over the other, and then it lists. So for one person, we could have the water service turned off, and for another person, we could just contact them and talk to them.
Well, it says any or all.
Right.
So we can do all four
Or
one of four.
that's right.
So I think that gives the borough manager the freedom to determine what's most appropriate in the situation.
What I'm worried about there is, I would like everyone treated the same. So, if we pass this, like I said, one person could have the water turned off while another person could be sent to the magistrate, and another person could have a lien filed against them. Instead of it saying A, B, we're going to do A, B, C, and then D in that order. It leaves it up to the manager to decide what.
Is there a timeline printed in there?
No.
That should be on there, I think.
Well,
For a certain set period of time.
Well, these all deal with the sewer account has more than 30 days past due, and these are the steps that are available.
I'm just concerned, and I'm really not concerned about our manager and how she would do it, but if we're actually passing policy, I think it should state that instead of it saying any or all, or whichever way they want to do it, it should be a little more of a clear direction. That's just what my thought was.
The borough manager knows the circumstances for each individual case, we don't, so.
So this is on the table for a motion.
So moved.
I would need a second. I would need a second. With no second, we would have to table it for no lack of action.
And just so there are two different, so this is,
Right, one's the
one is
sewer,
the sewer, one is the garbage.
and they both are written identically.
Yes.
Okay, so for lack of action, this resolution has not passed.
I think I have that.
So
Thank
perhaps we can put it back on next
Thank you,
month after
Andrea.
everybody has read it.
I think the garbage one.
And, well, that was the garbage, and then there's one for the sewer. I had the same problem with my packet, I only had one. So that one we just took action on was for the sewer, and so now we need action to update the delinquent garbage policy, which reads the same as the sewer policy. Do I have a motion to approve and update the delinquent garbage policy?
So moved.
I would need a second.
Second.
Okay, so, we have a
Gee,
motion and a
uninformed
second.
voters don't vote no.
All in favor of, this is for the garbage policy. All in favor of approving the garbage policy?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, so we have the garbage policy updated, but the sewer policy not updated at this point.
Motion to table.
Motion to table the sewer. Motion to table the sewer, policy.
I'll make that motion.
Second. I need a second. Did I get a second? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. The garbage passes and the sewer does not pass, for lack of motion. All right, so now we need a motion, before everybody leaves, I need a motion to ratify the payroll, to approve the payroll.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay,
I don't know for a
do
vote.
we have enough people?
You still ask.
You gotta vote, you don't have enough people for a
So-
vote.
We need approval to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Second.
You don't have people to vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Got that, Debbie?
Point of order, you don't have enough people to vote.
We need,
You don't have enough people to vote, point of order.
there's four's all we need. Yeah, four's a four.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I already made sure.
Okay, sorry.
Approve the transfers, motion,
So moved.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's approved. Approved treasurer's report,
So moved.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and there's no tax, okay. So, Nina, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. It is 4:56, and they probably had a meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to explain it.
Yeah, because we're usually Tuesdays, Mondays, Tuesdays.
It is, first time I've ever seen any guy.
Can I get your signature on that?
It was a Southmont Borough Council meeting. Yay, good times, fun. Okay. I want to thank them for not voting on the update of the sewer maintenance thing because they weren't educated on it and they didn't understand what was going on about it. They shouldn't be able to shut off your water. They shouldn't have the power to shut off your water. They should have no authority over that or no bearing on it. And I will continue to bring awareness to that. And right now, currently, they do. And like Ms. Spiker said, Ms. Spiker, Mrs. Spiker, I don't know what her status is. Like Sherry said, it should be the same for everybody. Apply shit equally. That's what the 14th Amendment says. You apply the laws equally. That's all I've ever asked for. And to stop weaponizing the government and using their powers to pound on people. So I'm going over to the police commission's meeting tonight. I don't feel like it. I just don't.
So they get a break from my presence this month. So I'm standing in the middle of the street. If you like what you see, leave a comment. If you don't like what you see, leave a comment. Have a good evening. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you watching. Thanks for stopping by.